Welcome to a new tutorial on Green Hell VR. In this survival guide, you will learn how to make tools for hunting and fishing, how to get food by hunting animals and catching fish, and how to use traps to catch animals. In the previous guide, I explained you how to use the table to create useful tools for your survival in the jungle, and you should be an expert by now. So let's start immediately with the creation of hunting tools, such as the spear, bow and the blade. To make a simple spear, place a long stick on the table. This is already enough to create the spear. If you want to make more robust and efficient spear, you can combine a long stick with a stone blade, make a four-pointed version, or you can use a mold to make an iron spearhead, but I will tell you about this in a tutorial on advanced crafting, in which I will show you all the tools and weapons you can create, and on another guide about the use of the forge and the creation of metal tools. For now, your weak spear is more than enough to hunt for animals. Personally, I use the spear to pierce more static animals, such as a frog, pastinaka and other animals that don't move too fast. But for animals like capybaras, pecaris and tapirs and other large mammals, as well to defend myself from natives and predators, I prefer to use bow and arrows. To make a bow, combine a long stick with a rope, while you can make arrows by combining one little stick and two feathers. Finally, bring a stone blade with you, as you will need it to process the animal carcass and recover meat and other resources. Now that you have all the basic tools, let's go hunting. Whether you want to kill a capybara or a tapir, whether you want to hit with a spear or an arrow, shoot from your bow, the concept is always the same. When you see a prey, don't let yourself be seen, don't make a noise, don't get too close and stay low. If you show up or make noise, you will miss your meal, reducing your chances of survival. Use the bushes to hide, let the animals move and come towards you. Lurk, and when the time is right, attack. If you use the spear, you can use the aiming guideline to facilitate the launch. When holding the spear, pull the trigger while holding the grab button to activate the drive. The free hand becomes the indicator of where your spear will be thrown. So, while holding the spear with one hand, use the other to aim at your target. To throw the spear, swing it back and forth and release the grab button at the right moment. Remember that the headshot is 10% successful in killing the prey, while the blows to the body often fail and the animal will flee, taking your spear with it. However, you will be able to recover the carcass and the spear by following the trace of blood left by the fleeing animal, which could bleed to death a few meters further. With the bow, on the other hand, you will have to do a little more practice with the aim, since you have no indicators or guides. But if you respect the tips for a silent hunt, you will have a very good chance of placing an arrow into the animal's head at first shot. To use the bow, pick up an arrow, insert into the bowstring and pull back to draw. Remember, however, that while you draw the bow, you quickly consume stamina, so tend only when you are sure to hit and shoot the arrow as soon as possible. Otherwise, you will be too tired to shoot it, or will be thrown automatically at the end of the stamina at the wrong time. If you landed a fatal blow on the animal, dies immediately, and you can retrieve both the spear and the arrow's shot, unless they broke on impact. To process the carcass and recover resources, use the stone blade on the animal's body and store everything in your backpack. There are several ways to cook meat, but I will tell you about this in an upcoming tutorial. If you are familiar with a bow and want to create a greater number of arrows to never run out of it, I suggest you hunt parrots. The concept is the same for hunting other animals. Don't get too close, stay low, and use a bow for more possibilities and greater distance. Parrots often perch on low supports, such as branches, trunks, rocks, and even on the roofs of your structures. And you can find them in abundance near rivers or lakes. Take advantage of the moment they stop for a better chance of success. Animal meat is not the only source of protein. You can also fish, and you can do it in different ways. and with different tools, both with a spear and with a special fishing rod. The creation of the fishing rod requires a complex combination of objects, and its realization is not simple, because some elements required are not easy to find. To create a fishing rod, combine a long stick, 2 feeders, a rope, and the shell of a Brazilian nut. This one is not easily available because the game does not provide many of these nuts. However, you can find Brazilian nuts at the foot of these distinctive, very broad trunk trees that are easily recognizable. Fishing rod also requires the use of another tool to be created, which is the fishing hook, to be added after the creation of the rod and on which you will have to put a larva. The fish hook can be created by working a fish bone or a bone needle. For fish bone, process the carcass of a fish with a blade to retrieve meat and fish bones. For the bone needle, break a bone with an axe or another tool to get the bone needle. So, put the bone on the table to turn it into a fishing hook. Now, you just have to look for a river or a lake populated by fish, release your bait and wait for the fish to bite the hook to be able to pull it up. Fishing in Green Hell is a fun experience, especially in VR, but personally, when I'm looking for food, it's not worth the effort, and so I prefer to use the spear. Spear fishing is much faster and more intuitive. You can directly pierce the fish and retrieve it directly from the spear. When you fish with the spear, however, make sure that the water is not infested with piranhas, because when you put your feet in the water, you will be attacked. Also beware of crocodiles that often populate the beaches near the river and some ponds. Also pay close attention when crossing streams where the water is shallow, because here you might find the pastinaca, a kind of freshwater sole armed with a tail with a poisonous sting, and which, thanks to its color, camouflages itself with the muddy bottom. If you see before it stings you, it's a very easy prey. Hunting and fishing are important actions to survive, but they're still time and effort. While you are dedicating yourself to expanding your camp, you can set traps to capture animals without making any effort. However, the realization of the traps requires that they are first found in the jungle or unlocked by creating some tools, such as the bow or the fishing rod. Explore and try to craft as many tools as possible to unlock all the traps blueprints. This concludes the tutorial on hunting and fishing in Green Hell, thanks to which I hope you have acquired the new knowledge to increase your chances of survival in the rainforest. Guide after guide you will become an expert, so hold on and keep following for other guides.